good rebounding team, you guys out-rebound. Just your effort on the offensive glass early. You know that was going to be a pretty big difference, maybe.
Yeah. Personally, I went into the game kind of tired of hearing how good Arizona was at rebounding. Coach Brantley's really on us, especially the big guys, about that. So just kind of frustrated. So I guess it's really helping.
They seem to start the second half, seem to try to run some stuff for you. Why was that working? Why were you getting stuff opposite Zach? Was it that his gravity, or what?
Why was the stuff they're running for me work?
They were running some post touches for you. What were the dynamics of those plays where you were able to get pretty good position and opportunity touches?
Well, I think it was just a combination of things. I think, Johnson had 2 fouls, so I think we were trying to attack him, get him out of the game. Obviously, he had a good game, so. Zach's gravity. So, and then, when I won in the post, most of the time I scored. So I think that's what I'm
Played a bunch of NCAA tournament type games. Do you feel like one?
Yeah. It's obviously a great environment. To be honest.
Do you feel like a home game?
Yeah, it did feel more like a home game. I would say that would be the difference. Our fans travel wherever, but the fact that it was in Indiana obviously did help us out.
Do you feel like you're figuring out the space when you're on the floor with Zach? Do you kind of figuring out your space in it?
Yeah. It's like I said, it's all process just with everybody on the team. But yeah, I think we've kind of figured out we're on the right track right now.
When you get the ball, it seems like you're angling to score.
Yeah.
How much of an adjustment has it been for you to make sure you're making the best decision to either go up with it or kick it back out?
A decent adjustment. What I think you mean by that is not just try to score every time. Last year when I was put in the game and when Zach's out and I go into the game, they want me in there to score. Whereas when I'm starting that kind of first unit that we have out there, my job's to score, when I get the opportunity. But otherwise, you gotta get your best players the ball. So that's the goal.
Just that start for Fletcher. What were the dynamics going on with the way they were guarding or whatever, the way he was playing that got him off to such a good start and got you guys off to such a good start?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what was special about this game. I think Zach's just gravity in general frees a lot of our guards open for good looks. I can't tell you exactly, particularly what this game. I don't know what they did specifically that allowed him to be so open, but I think he took advantage of it. So that's all good. We needed it.
You had a couple assists there to start the second half, really picking apart their defense. What were you seeing from them, especially when they were throwing the zone out of nowhere? What were you seeing that you were able to
Yeah, that was difficult. I think, you saw us kind of struggle with that a little bit just because they had not run zone this entire year. So, it was something new that they kind of threw out. And really at that point, when teams playing zone, you're just making reads. You're trying to find shooters. I think I found Fletch once. I think maybe found somebody else, but it's just a read at that point. Even though we didn't prepare for Arizona with the zone, we've ran, zone stuff before, so it wasn't completely new.
Yeah, can you kind of describe, just because there is like an energy of the game and it changes when a defense obviously goes zone all of a sudden. How does that kind of manifest inside of you guys? Just how you kind of catch up to it?
Yeah, I think you just kind of have to fall back to what you work on and what you practice. No matter, when you're in a situation where you weren't really expecting something, that's always kind of, you just kind of go back to your habits. Same thing on the defensive side. If the team runs a great play that we hadn't scouted or something, it's just more about trying to follow your principles and making sure everybody's on the same page.